Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Mantle Productions here. Yeah, it's good to be back. It's been a long time since I've recorded any video for you guys. In fact, the last time that I was doing a video was, in fact, it was a stream on YouTube. That was fun. Since that video, I moved house and my internet was pretty crap. But thankfully, in about 3 days' time, my new internet package should be up and running at this new house, but I won't be at this new house for too long, maybe a couple more months, and then I move on to somewhere else. But yeah, hopefully as of sometime this week, I should be have an upload speed that is streamable. So yeah, so this today is going to be a nice little flight from Old Warden down to Southampton. There are a few things I want to clear up. Of course, we didn't want to do that. Of course, we are now rolling in Prepared 3D version 4, and there's a couple of reasons why I'm doing a video for you guys now. One of them is that ORBX just recently updated all of their local airport scenery for version 4, and woo, that is fun. I love going. You can go all the way into outer space with this camera add-on. Anyway, now I've lost my place. Where am I? So yeah, there's a couple of reasons why I've decided to do a video. And where on earth am I? This place. Oh, there it is. Yeah. It's been a while. A couple of the reasons why is I was also. I've recently bought a USB headset, and that is why the audio quality is a little bit better. Hopefully you may have already noticed. And the issue is my computer was not picking up the USB headset because basically the Windows drivers were corrupt, and the only way that I could fix it, eventually I just did a complete new Windows 10 reinstall. It was a massive pain in the backside, and then I reinstalled all of P3D version 4 and all of my add-ons from scratch. And I've been having all sorts of issues with Ultimate Traffic Live and random crashes, and certain things just not working with P3D version 4 when the developers say that they should. Another thing I'll show you in just a second is the GTN 750. That's recently been put into version 4, and I've had no clue how to make it work because it wasn't working for a long time, and then I just decided to add a custom skin to my C172, which you can see, which is Golf Alpha Zulu Uniform Mike, and I just basically downloaded this off of the internet just now for this video. I had absolutely no skins, of course, this being a fresh install, so I just grabbed the first one that looked like a nice looking skin. Yeah, but I installed this custom skin, and all of a sudden, why am I now not in the aircraft? There we go. And all of a sudden, in the custom skin, the GTN 750 started working all of a sudden. So I was like, oh, that's just weird. So let's just bring up Plan G. I just recently had to reconfigure and reinstall Plan G. You can see we'll be taking off from Biggleswade. We'll be flying west towards Cranfield, the Cranfield VRR, and then cutting south, picking up the Henton. Yeah, the Henton NDB, and then across to Compton. So we might see some VATSIM traffic. Oh, I have to put that on free. We might see some VATSIM traffic coming out the Compton, the Heathrow Compton departure, and continuing south on our way down to Southampton. Yeah, it's my neck of the woods, guys. There's nothing new about this kind of video. We've done this kind of stuff before. I'm just going to plug some stuff into the GTN, and we're going to fly IFR today, even though the day looks beautiful. I really hope this is a new chapter in my simming videos, guys, because it's just real life has just been an awful time of busyness and craziness. I started another new job this week. This is thankfully now a full-time job that I'm doing, not several part-time things just messing things up. So yeah, so without much further ado, let's get stuck in. I'm on Unicom at the moment. If I go over to, I'm using the Project Fly VATSIM overlays now instead of VATSPy, because this is more accurate. It shows the boundaries of the ATC space much more in a much more accurate fashion, so I can definitely tell when I'm in the right zone at the right time. So if I zoom in, you can see there is sorry, that's London North control. If I click on that, London North control. Down here is London South control, and then we have Essex Approach, which is that huge circle there. That is Stansted, and then Essex Ground, and then we have got the one thing it doesn't do is if you click on, say if I wanted to see what that green circle was and I click on it, the Essex Approach is actually above, so I don't really know what that is. Unless if I mouse over, maybe that will give me, but I do know that that's Luton. That is Luton Tower, and there's Gatwick. That's Gatwick Tower as well. But I can always cross-reference with VATSPy if I want to. Anyway, I am on the ground here, and I'm going to take off and fly down to Southampton here. So there you can see I'm on VATSIM there, and there's a load of other aircraft. There's a few GA aircraft actually in the area. There's G. Kells, Matthew Dean. He's just taken off from Cambridge and he's doing some fun things, it looks like. Cambridge is my home base, so I feel pretty much at home in this area of the country. Anyway, there's a few things that it just haven't been, because this is a brand new install. I still haven't got things perfectly configured, but we'll get to those things when we get to them. Okay, so let's just get started up. Let's just bring the fuel pump on. Okay, that's pretty much all we should need. It's a warm day. Let's give ourselves an inch of manifold. Let's make sure avionics is off. Let's go over to my engine starting. Okay, throttle cracked. Mixture idle. Okay, let's put the mixture on idle. Master switch on. Beacon on. Let's put the beacon on. Skip to step 9 for a warm engine. Ignition switch start. Mixture advance. There we go. There's my baby. Okay, I don't know about you guys if you can hear the engine noise above my voice. I'm just going to turn it. Actually, yeah, I'll turn it down. I'll turn it down to about there, and then I'll put my headphones in. There you go. I might tweak the sound in a little bit once we get airborne. Let's just turn that there. Okay, so oil pressure check. Let's check our T's. Oh, what just happened there? I don't know why that happened. Anyway, let's just go down and check T's and P's. Temperature is good. Oil is in the green. Vacuum is just about in the green. And amps look good as well. Fuel flow looks okay. It is as expected. Let's just put the EGT needle roughly there. We'll play around with that in cruise later on. Let's just hit D to calibrate our direction, and then B to calibrate our altimeter. Actually, that is really low. Let's just turn that engine noise up a little bit more. Okay, so if we go to Plan G and right click on Biggleswade and go, we should have Show Airport Diagram. This should give us, and it doesn't really, but it shows us 0, 3 and 2, 1. If we actually come outside to, let's just go and explore Biggleswade here a little bit. So that is 2, 1, and that is 0, 3. And my camera spams out a little bit every now and then. I don't know why, but it just does. Okay, so now we've had the engine running. Let's turn on the avionics and let's boot up. Now in Prepared 3D version 4, the GTN 750 comes with the GTN 650 in the package as well. So when you buy the GTN 750 for version 4, it automatically comes with the 650 as well. So this is the first time. Excuse those annoying sound blips. I have a problem with the GTN, which I'll get into later on, but
TOS system test okay.
yes, thank you. Okay, so version blah 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 blah, continue, sorted. Let's just go. I can go map. I'll play around with that later. Okay, so for the moment, let's just pop that out. You can also pop out the 650, and it comes in bottom corner, comes in below like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go flight plan. So if we go to CFD is our first waypoint. CFD. No, that's incorrect. Remove. I said CFD, not foremost. Okay, that is a bit of a weird thing. Huh. Maybe it's the nav data just is screwed up. I definitely don't want to go 3,788 nautical miles. Let's remove that. Okay, let's just go direct to. Let's go direct 433.5. That's hen. There we go. That's better. Let's go direct there. Compton. If it doesn't have Compton, I will eat my hat. Thank you. I don't have a hat, but yes. I would have to buy one and then eat it, which would be a bit impractical. Southampton. Bam. And then from Southampton, yeah, basically, we're right there. Okay, so if we go back to the map, that should be loaded in. Let's just zoom in. What's going on there? Okay, that's just... Okay, cool. So, from here, down to the south coast. Great. Okay. I haven't fully configured that either, so... but what that means is if I do that, I could then go to menu. No. If I go back, I could go to... Oh! Oh, isn't that cool? I could go utilities, and I could go vcalc, and I could have the vcalc always here with the map. That just gives me a lot more options. That's cool. Let's actually just do that. Okay, let's pop that down there, and pop that down there. Okay, so we're pretty much good to go. Let's just check. We've got full fuel tanks, which are fine. Let's have. Let's actually just bring in the passengers today. We're gonna have fun today. Maybe not. Total weight is too much. Aww. Well, let's put everyone in plus baggage, but then let's make sure it's like. But then let's bring down, say, 40% fuel on either side. That's still too heavy? Wow, okay. Let's just say 49%, and then let's just take the passengers out. Yeah, let's do it that way. Okay, so GPS, VLOC, GPS, VLOC. Okay, so from this position, what we want to do now is go in and okay, we want to take all this out. I was doing a flight earlier on that crashed because of some random issue with version 4 and some sort of add-on. EGHI. Departure time at 6 is about 1610, I'd say 1610. Flight time should only be an hour, but let's say we have an hour and 45 minutes worth of fuel. Cruise speed is 100 knots. Altitude is, let's go for 3,000 feet. Okay, so now in terms of, let's not worry about that. I started up already. Let's just bring that in and go. Oh, I hate it when I do this. Like this. Oh, for goodness sake. Excuse me. I have to move that like that and then do this. Okay, so we want to go to Hen, Compton, Sam. IFR flight in. Okay, sorted, lovely. Okay, so let's just add a little bit of so as we can see on the 750, we don't really have any wind component, unless it's because I haven't set this up properly. It's probably because I haven't set this up properly. But if we go to plan G, yeah, we've got 2 knots. 2 knots, so that means we take off from 2-1. So let's have 10 knot. There we go. Let's just add a little bit of brakes there. Let's just look left and right. Let's just actually take the left hand there. So I'm running with the PTA shaders from Matt Damon. I'm using his specific shader pack, but slightly tweaked, and I'm going to tweak it more because you see that white surface on the 172 is just way too white. It's blown up. It's blown out way too much. So let's just come to a stop here, and let's actually turn into the wind. Put the parking brake on. Okay, so we want to turn on our strobe and our nav, and we also want to do a mag check. So let's put the propeller up to 1800. Okay, so the right mag is not good. I can definitely tell. So if I put that back up to 1800, or actually no, on full. Okay, so that didn't really sort the problem out. I was trying to blow the carbon out of the spark plugs to try to clean that situation up, but it didn't seem to work. So I'm going to have to look at the spark plugs in the hangar when we get on the ground in Southampton. So our first heading is going to be, let's delete this waypoint. It's going to be 227. So let's just put 227. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to do this. 227. That's given us a rough bearing. So we've established there's no aircraft in the area. No one has called out on Unicom yet. 122.8. It's pretty quiet at the moment in this area of the country. So Let's just come into position. And we've got everything in V4 now. We've got dynamic lighting. We've got good effects now going on. Okay, so throttle up. And release the brakes. Whoa, that's bumpy. Wow, that's bumpy. That's much more bumpy than I thought it would be. And we're off. So climbing out. Okay, let's just gain. Let's just gain some speed here before. Okay, flaps up. Okay, so we've gained 80 knots. Let's just start climbing now. Let's just bring up. There's a lot of things we got to configure on this GTN now. But for the moment, what we're going to do is we're going to get the autopilot on. Let's turn that on, and let's go heading, and then nav. And then let's give ourselves 3,000 feet. And let's go altitude, arm. Okay, so that's given us, that's taking us up to 3,000 feet. That's taking us up to 3,000 feet at a speed of about 500-600 per minute. And let's set this to 277, and this will show us our radial. Should show us the radial. Well, it won't really, because that we have. This is a ND. Actually, stupidly, this is an NDB that we're set. But yes, we'll use that later on for a localizer. Okay, so we're climbing. Let's just take a look outside. Beautiful. And this is with the FDX Vector, all of the little roads, rivers, golf courses, everything in FTX Vector turned on. Now we don't have to worry about VAS. We can basically do what we like. Right, so let's have a look at the GTN 750. Let's try to configure it in a way that is... Let's put that on. Airways off. Traffic is on. That's fine. Let's go back. That looks much more like it used to. Let's see if we can turn off this really annoying, yeah, 1,000 to go. Let's see if we can turn off this really annoying noise. Audio. No, that doesn't do anything at all. I'm pretty sure it's in the GTN configurator. If I go to the configurator here. This is where we were supposed to be, since now, this is where we would configure this noise. But I cannot find, for the life of me, the A2A C172. It's not in this list. So therefore, there's nothing that I can do at the moment to change this noise. So we've just got this really annoying clicky noise until now, I'm afraid, until we get that sorted. Anyway. Yeah, but just beautiful sim. I'm really loving V4. Really loving V4. It's everything that I hoped it would be. It's got proper shadows on the ground. If I go down, I will be able to find somewhere. Where is the sun? The sun is ahead of us, which means that our shadow should be somewhere back there. I can't see it at the moment, but yeah, it's just nice. It's the way it should be. So, yep, I think that's our, yep. Okay, now we've hit our cruise speed. Let's just bring our propeller back to 75% throttle and our mixture back to 75% throttle. And we should just be cruising from here on. So, Egl Traffic at Gawler, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Let's just have a look here. So that's EGLL, that's Heathrow right there. That's right off to our left-hand side. We should see Luton somewhere. That's Luton right there. Right there, that's Luton. So if we go over to our thing here, we should see there is EasyJet. No, that's a Egyptian. ELY. I think that's an Egyptian. Ali Bakar. Yeah, that looks Egyptian. Right. So, okay. So, Stansted radar has gone off. What is going on there? That looks like that's some sort of streamer groupie, something like that going on. So yeah, there we are, just taking off and climbing out. And then we'll hit London Control South in a while, and he'll just probably give us a basic service or something. Well, we're not VFR today, so he'll probably just monitor us. Anyway, yeah, let's go and look at these two now together. So from our, I'm already at 3,000 feet. There's really no descent profile that I need to do. It's not like I'm very high. So, yeah. So, yeah. So this stream, it wasn't going to be very high maintenance. It was just a stream where I wanted to get on. I wanted to test out my new setup. I wanted to test out my new video recording setup as well. As you can probably see, I'm recording my voice on Audacity, despite the fact I have Adobe Audition. Of course, I do a lot of movie editing stuff. Adobe Audition had hotkeys where I would actually be doing stuff here in the sim, and it would actually automatically stop my audio recording. But Audacity seems to be like, I can just sit and let this record and minimize it, and it won't stop recording for any random reason. It will just continue recording for the duration. The reason why I'm recording my audio separately is because NVIDIA Shadowplay, which is what I always was using, it doesn't pick up the USB headset very well. It has this really weird staticky noise that it adds into my microphone, which has been really annoying and confusing to try to understand. But I found that if I just separately record my microphone audio from the video feed, and then just put them both together in the end in the editing, that should work. So this is basically my first recording after my my reinstall and everything. Oh, it's a little bit of turbulence, I think I saw there. What I like doing, especially on the nose camera, is I like coming down here in this and going enable gimbal, and what that does is that enables it fixes the camera in a fixed point, and the aircraft is able to pivot around that point in a sense. If I go to the back and then if I set this to enable gimbal as well, you'll see when we do, yeah, you see how the aircraft is kind of it's banking left and right, and it's adjusting itself slightly whenever it hits an air current, and you can see that independent of the camera angle. See, the camera won't do this with the aircraft anymore. It is now independent of the camera, which is really nice. So, and also my USB headset has 7.1 surround sound. It's a Logitech headset, which is nice. Look at those shadows you see now in P3D. Actually, we've got some weird shadowing going on, but yeah, I think we've got shadows, tree shadows baked into the scenery, and then the dynamic shadows are actually going over top, so it's creating two sets of tree shadows. Lol. Anyway, not too bad. Okay, so we're oh yeah, we're cruising 124 knots. That's not too bad. So yeah. So in terms of V4, I've installed the Ultimate Traffic Live. If I just bring up my add-ons here, it's not in the add-ons list. Basically, whenever I open Ultimate Traffic Live itself, it crashes the sim. But if I make sure I don't open it, VPilot will just use the model matching, so the VPilot will recognize all of the models installed on my sim and use them for VATSIM. But if I don't actually open Ultimate Traffic Live itself while it's running, it won't crash the sim. So that's just one of the weird things that I've had to learn in this new build. It's just been a lot of frustrating things, really. Okay, so on the GTN 750, you can see it looks like an Airspace Boundary. We're getting that's EGLL right there, so we're not too far away. There's aircraft you can see. There's one over here, and there's one over there. But they're way too far out for us to really bother about. If we go back to our map and refresh it, it might look slightly different. There's 800 people on IVAO and 600 people on Pilot Edge. That's crazy. Okay, so looks like Essex Approach has come back online again. Gunship 3. That sounds like something out of Lakenheath or Mildenhall, but it's not. It doesn't really tell us what aircraft it is. Oh, it's an AH-4046. Yeah, so that is a Speedbird. That's a jumbo jet out of Heathrow that's coming across our nose. But of course we're way too far away for that to really be an issue. So yeah, I'm really loving the performance in version 4. It's great, for me at least, and the lighting and the shading and the colors and everything just really look good. There's another small aerodrome that we're passing underneath. For some reason, I can't look any further to the left if I just drag the camera. Okay, so Heathrow is going to be over here somewhere. I think those lakes, those little bodies of water over there that, I don't know. Yeah. So soon we will have a slight course adjustment, 2.1 nautical miles. And looks like we're hitting a little bit of turbulence, but that's okay. I really love to see the A2A aircraft performing as they should perform in a smooth simulation. You know, it's really the way the developers designed the aircraft to work was in a smooth sim. And that should, you know, if you sim in, you know, 12 frames a second and you're used to that, then I feel sorry for you. But yeah, I know not everyone can have. Am I going right? I don't know. So I did try. Yes. Wow. I did try to record a video yesterday. I was actually tried to record a video of the DC-6 flight from Amsterdam to Innsbruck in the DC-6, but that went horribly wrong. I actually crashed on short final because I destroyed the engines of the DC-6. And then, for some reason, the audio on Audacity got messed up, so I decided to re-record today. And you can see, because I've set the gimbal setting in chase plane, the gimbal setting is keeping the camera horizontal and locked, but whenever the aircraft banks, it banks independently of the camera, which is really cool. It is my first flight. Congrats! Oh, look at those! Look at that forest! Wow! That auto-gen, oh my goodness. And it's smooth. Wow. The fact that we're flying over all of this right now, with cloud shadows as well. Look at these cloud shadows. Wow. Yeah, we're having a bit of an issue here on No, I'm not. I'm not going to add to the craziness that is Unicom on VATSIM needlessly. Although to new people I say, just the trees move as well. Oh no, they don't. No, no, sorry, I meant something else. To new people on VATSIM, I think just hang in there. Do your best. Don't get stressed out. I think the most important thing is just don't get stressed. Take it all with a pinch of salt. You're here to learn and have a good time. And if learning is not fun, then you're not doing it right. So I'll tell you what we need right now. We need a screeny. And we need a screeny with all of that auto-gen right there. That's my screeny. Okay, so you can see we've got a bit of cloud cover now up above us, and you can see that the world has darkened down a bit. You can see the glare on my nose is not as bad as it was. And if I turn my camera to the backside, we should see the highlights on these wings drop down a bit once we go under the cloud cover, which we're not really under the cloud cover yet. Give us another 15 seconds or so. Once the sun goes behind these clouds, we should see this. It's coming. anytime now. Yeah, that is going down a little bit. Yep, look at that. You can start to see a little bit of detail now. Whenever I turn my head left, I can't go any further than that. I wonder if there's a setting for like 360-degree view. I'm sure there is. Oh well. Anyway, folks, this is pretty much what is happening from me at the moment. Kind of run out of things to say. I mean, part of the stream is just to enjoy the new views. Enjoy the new views we have in V4. Look at that. And that's beautiful. Let's do that. Yeah, so I'm still fully intending on continuing the PPL C172 PPL training course from Welshpool. The reason why it's taken a bit of time for me to get the second, not the second, the newest video out is because of this whole change from version 3 to version 4, and then all of the technical issues that I've been having in the last 2 weeks, really. So, but I assure you, I should get that all up and running soon. I do, of course, have a load of freelance work still to get through from my Norwegian friends, which I will do. So basically, I'm doing a full-time job, and I'm trying to complete the freelance work for them. That's going to be a screenshot. So it's kind of like I'm working overtime right now. So it's going to take me a while to get back to a normal weekly life where I can actually be doing this regularly. I'd like to be doing this regularly. I really would. So, and get back to just normal, regular YouTubing is something. I've just left you guys painfully in the dark for a long time, and I don't like that as much as you guys don't like that. And I still want to grow the channel over a time period. I want to grow the channel, and I want to just continue making good content, and continue helping you guys to learn different things as well, the more subtler things that about aviation and small aircraft. And now what with V4, what with the, oh my goodness, that's a good shot. What with the new advances with version 4, and what with VATSIM coming out with much better audio codecs soon. I'm really looking forward to that, where I can actually go on VATSIM and talk to controllers and hear immediately what they're saying. That's going to be amazing for beginners and pros alike, particularly whenever people are going to fly in other countries. They can much more easily understand the foreign accents that we'll hear on ATC as well. So let's just have a think about where we are. Yeah, I'm coming close to London South Control, which is frequency 199.1998, which I don't like. Let's just double check that on center. ATIS, ground, tower, center. Actually, there's no center control anymore. He's disappeared. Let's just double check VATSPy. Yep, he's gone completely. So actually, unfortunately, we don't have... there's me. We don't actually have... Oh no, Luton was northwest of us, not south. Silly me. EGSC. Good to see Max Beckett. Good to see Cambridge Airfield being used. There's actually ATIS on in Cambridge. What am I doing down here? There's never anything happening at Cambridge. I'm so sad. I need to get back in my... You know what I need to do? I need to get back with I don't even know what they're called anymore. How awful. Kicks VFR. That is exactly what I need to do. Starting this week, I'm going to start flying with Kicks VFR again. That is my decree. So there's basically no ATIS on at the moment, which is sad, but that's the route that I planned out, and I'm going to have to stick with it, but that's okay. So yeah, we got some good cloud cover now, and you can see as I'm panning around in the cockpit, those clouds aren't taking any of my frames away. Actually, if I bring up my frame counter, I'm pretty much locked at a solid 30 to 40 frames a second at the moment, with all of that autogen, all of those shadows down there as well, those clouds. Now, of course, this is the A2A C172. If I was flying the PMDG, any PMDG aircraft at the moment, it would knock off a good maybe 5-10 frames of that performance. But for small aircraft flying, this is just ideal. I have this tuned really well. Except for the clouds, I think the cloud highlights are a little bit too much. You see the whiteness of the skin of the aircraft is just blown out a little bit too much. But apart from that, I mean, I'm not going to knock it too bad. I mean, I love a bit of good contrast. There's nothing bad about contrast. And it is bright up there. Anyway, let's just zoom out. Okay, so from here it's pretty much a direct run to Southampton. We're turning. Let's show you the... There you go. Let's show you that gimbal camera. And that is the advanced. If I go into the advanced tab, that's the gimbal camera. See if when I turn that on and off, that's a really nice camera to have on the exterior. I just can't get enough of this scenery. And again, it's like once you have a system set up perfectly, you're seeing all of your add-ons in the way in which they were meant to be shown. Like, this is FTX England with ORBX Vector and all of the above. And this is the way it should look like. But we're so used to, as flight simmers, turning all of our settings down so that we get the performance. There's a nice road there. Now I wonder what that is right there. If I went over, I could see. Yeah, that's Church End, is that? Church End. Reading, that's Reading. Apologies, people from Reading. Oh, is there a... That looks like that's a de Havilland Dash 8. That's an aircraft coming into Southampton, same as me. That's cool. So if I just zoom in, yeah, that's him on the map, that little arrow. 29.9 nautical miles, that's not too far from here. We can do this whole thing in one sitting. We don't need to stop or start the recording. Oh, look at that. Hang on now. Oh no, so the clouds are blown out there, but then inside, they're not blown out. That's weird. Okay. Oh, that must be because we're underneath. I don't know. So that's Reading. I'm really super happy about this, the quality and the fact that I'm able to get good scenery and the add-ons working in time to make a video for you guys, because yesterday was a bit of a failure. I was trying to come out of Amsterdam in the DC-6 and it crashed twice. The P3Dv4 crashed twice because of what I think was Ultimate Traffic Live. And that happened while I was trying to record. It was quite frustrating. And then when I actually got to Innsbruck, I crashed on short final. Like the aircraft actually, all the engines died, and I had to actually tried to crash land in the valley before the airport because I had messed up the engines. And the PMDG DC6, I'll make a video about that. That's coming soon. But just to let you know now, I mean, the auto flight engineer is fantastic, but once you take the auto flight engineer off, thinking to yourself, oh, I'll just fly for a bit, I'll just manage the engines, boom. Like you can mess up the engines so badly, so quickly, and all of a sudden you can have you know, a metal glider instead of a DC6 just because you took out the auto flight engineer and you messed it up, and it does things that like the A2A 4-engined propeller airliners don't have those kinds of engine issues. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I'll have to discuss all of that in more detail later on. So I'm kind of sad we don't have any ATC, because I would have wanted to try some ATC with my new headset setup. Yeah, he's coming in from Manchester. I can't wait for the Majestic Dash 8 to be in version 4. Be flying that thing so much. So Essex Approach is on. There's not too much going on. Well, I mean, give it another 2 or 3 hours, and VATSIM on a Sunday night should start lighting up. Europe should, at least, anyway. I might actually just go make a cup of tea, so I'm going to leave the aircraft here and go make some tea, and I'll be back in a second. Okay. There is Southampton just loaded in with the relevant frame hit. Okay, let's get ready to come back on live again. That's 110.75. Hi folks, welcome back. So I'm now equipped with a cup of tea, and we can see Southampton in the distance. So in what I need is 110.75. Enter. And if I do that, and if I set to heading, continue south, but then if I set this to nav, we should have our navigation, and then that is a 202 localizer. So let's put that in. That is our localizer and glide slope come in. So now we're on heading hold. Let's just bring ourselves, say, 175. So we want to intercept the localizer before we intercept the glide slope, and we're quite close to the glide slope anyway. So right, we're pretty much on the glide slope now. The airfield is right there. So this is where I'm going to take manual control. I'm going to mixture full rich as we're now going to start descending, easing back the throttle. Put our landing lights on. It's a little bit frame laggy at Southampton. Southampton's always been one of those airports. It's just got a huge ton of stuff going on in the port there. So we're just on the glide slope. Got to just remember to keep our nose and power coming down. And we should... Yep, the localizer is just coming in now. And let's just double check our wind is 5 knots headwind, which is fine. Let's just start a very shallow turn there. Again, the scenery looks excellent. Look at that road there. Pretty much bang on the localizer and glide slope now. Let's just make our turn onto final. There's our 2 whites and 2 reds. So we are... let's just reset our altimeter. Let's do it the lazy man's way. I did mention on VATSIM that I was inbound to land at Southampton, ILS 22, well, ILS 22, runway 22. So that's done. Look at those little roads. So yeah, a bit of a lazy Sunday afternoon. You need lazy days on VATSIM every now and then. You just have to. Or else VATSIM becomes too much of a chore if you never have a lazy VFR or small aircraft days at low altitude with no one to care for you. It's just the way you need to be sometimes. Yeah, that's a lot of autogen. But we're still above 20 frames, and the thing about version 4 I found, guys, the thing about P3D version 4 is at 20 frames a second, I am a lot smoother than I was in version 3 at 20 frames a second. It's a strange thing, but I think it's just the way they've coded version 4 with 64-bit. The VAS usage is no longer an issue. I mean, look at my autogen. VAS obviously is no longer an issue. Not that VAS improves performance. No, sorry, not that 64-bit necessarily improves performance, but what it does is it also allows there to be. I think they've done a lot more GPU stuff, and they've just updated the code. Just updating all of the coding in general makes for a much better performing sim than it would be, because I mean the old code from FSX is very old. Right. Coming in here, let's just pull the power back now that we've just come under 1,000 feet. Let's pull the power back and let's think about some flaps sometime soon. We're going too fast for flaps, but let's just continue to lower our speed as we come down. There's the train yard there. And we're really slowing down now that I cut the speed. You can see that we have to pull up to be on the glide slope, and I'm going to put my first 10 degrees of flaps, bam, and then start to bring the power back in so that we don't go too far into the stall margin. Not that we're close to it at the moment, but oh, and there's a little train down there. Oh, and it just changed
500.
tracks. It just changed its tracks there. It weaved from one side to the other. Anyway, we're not here to look at trains. This is not train sim. No, sorry, not today. I'm not one of those flight simmers that casually plays train sims every now and then. Bellens. But those are some nice looking trains, though. I mean, that has to be said. That just has to be said. Right, I'm coming in a little bit too fast now. Let's put in my second notch of flaps. And I can feel the aircraft. Yeah, you can see the camera view looks cool. You see how that... so you can see me snaking left and right and banking and adjusting. Oh, look at that grass. And there's my shadow on the ground. And I think I hit the ground way too bad there. I wasn't really watching, to be honest. I'm quite ashamed of that, actually. Actually, the performance of Southampton isn't that bad. I mean, look, that is not bad. You can see the strobes. That's cool as well. Let's just lean for taxi operations. Lean by about 60%. And welcome to Southampton. And the sun came out again. Right, let's bring off the strobe, nav, landing. Oh, let's keep beacon on. Just idle about a 900 to 1000 RPM. Okay, so we want to go over here to our GA parking. There's no aircraft here at Southampton at the moment. See now, see the smooth frame rates I'm getting, even with like ramp clutter and buses and cars and stuff. Like, I never had this activated before on a video for you guys, just because the performance was so bad. I would never have done it, and the VAS usage was bad. So imagine this with full ATC on a rainy winter's evening in a Flybe Dash 8 on VATSIM. I mean, that would be amazing. I can't wait. Those puffy clouds. Oh, and there's a VATSIM aircraft up in the sky. I wonder where he's going. Well, folks, thank you very much for watching. It's been really fun just to get out of the hangar and into the sky and actually record something for you guys. It's been so long. I feel quite guilty, but it's just one of those things you have to. I had to do that Windows reinstall and just reconfiguring everything, and I'm going to run that gentleman over. Let's try not to do that. I'll just turn around him. I'll go in between these two people, like so. But he's on his phone. He should be paying attention to not being run over. And what's that person doing? Let's just stop here. I mean, what is going on? He's fixing a plane that isn't there. Oh, I know why. It's because he's there, but I turned off static aircraft. Wow, okay. Anyway, and he's doing the same thing. Lols. Okay, so let's do an engine shutdown. So let's turn the avionics off, beacon off, and then let's do power to idle and then mixture cutoff gradually. And then wait for the propeller to stop turning, and then ignition off. Let's take our feet off the parking brake and pop on that. So from here, what I will do is I will go to here and turn on controls lock. Actually, no, I have to push like that. Controls lock, headphones off, wheel chocks, tie downs, and pitot cover, and empty plane. And there, ladies and gents, is my first YouTube video in V4. It's not really an amazing YouTube video by any means. It's just me in an aircraft just flying around on VATSIM on a very quiet VATSIM day. So it's not like a huge issue, or it's not like I expect you guys to really like this video particularly, but it's a video where I thought I really just need to get out to you guys. I'm still here. I still intend to do more in the future. I mean, look at that autogen. Look at that autogen. And yeah, expect more from me soon. When I get into the, I'll get into the PMDG DC6. I'll be comparing and contrasting it with the A2A Constellation and the A2A B377 Stratocruiser once they get that into version 4, A2A. But yeah, so at the moment, that is all from me. So have a good weekend. I'll catch you later.